The Silent Years. The Milky Way had entered what historians call the Age of Serenity. 400 years had passed since the mysterious disappearance of humanity, and most species had agreed it was for the best. The humans had been chaotic creatures, driven by passion and unpredictability. They fought wars for honor, explored space for curiosity, and formed bonds based on something they called friendship rather than logical alliances. Now, in the year 3427 by Galactic Standard Time, the major civilizations flourished without their disruptive presence. The Xalthian Empire controlled 300 star systems, their crystalline ships sailing through space like schools of luminescent fish. The merchant Commonwealth of Valoria had established trade routes to every inhabited sector. The collective mind of Thraxinar had achieved perfect harmony, their billion minds working as one. High Commander Zolith stood on the bridge of the Xalthian flagship Eternal Glory, his 4 arms folded behind his back as he surveyed the star maps. His species, with their scaled green skin and compound eyes, had evolved for efficiency and order. They built their empire on logic and precision, everything humans were not. Commander, his science officer clicked her mandibles nervously. We're detecting strange readings from Sector 17B. Zolith turned, his antennae twitching with interest. Specify. Seismic activity, sir, but it's rhythmic, like a pulse. Natural phenomenon. Negative. The pattern suggests artificial origin. And Commander, she paused, her scales shifting to a darker shade of anxiety. It's coming from the old human homeworld. The bridge fell silent. Earth had been declared a dead world centuries ago, its surface scorched by solar flares after humanity's mysterious exodus. The planet had been quarantined, marked as a historical site of minimal importance. Set course for Earth, Zolith commanded. Maximum speed. As the Eternal Glory approached the blue-green planet, the readings grew stronger. The ship's sensors picked up electromagnetic bursts, each one perfectly timed, like the beating of an enormous heart. Sir, we're receiving a transmission, the communications officer announced, his voice trembling. It's in ancient human standard. Impossible. Play it. The speakers crackled, and then a voice filled the bridge. It was deep, resonant, speaking a language none had heard for centuries. Protocol Omega initiated. Containment breach in 3 standard cycles. All personnel to stations. This is not a drill. Zolith's compound eyes widened. Can we translate? Working on it, sir. The language database hasn't been updated since humans disappeared. Wait, I'm getting something else. Another transmission came through, this time accompanied by what sounded like alarms. Stasis pods activating. Awakening sequence initiated. Welcome back, humanity. The galaxy awaits. The science officer's scales turned pale. Commander, the seismic readings are increasing exponentially. Whatever's down there, it's waking up. Zolith stared at the planet below. Establish orbit and prepare landing teams. If there's even a chance humanity survived. He didn't finish the thought. The implications were too vast. The galaxy had built its new order on the assumption that humans were gone forever. Their technology, their weapons, their terrifying adaptability, all relegated to history books and cautionary tales. As the Xalthian teams descended toward Earth's surface, they found themselves looking at a world transformed. What had appeared from space to be natural formations were actually massive structures, camouflaged to blend with the landscape. Mountains revealed themselves as hangars. Valleys concealed underground cities. The entire planet was one enormous military installation. Commander, the ground team leader reported, "We've found an entrance. It's opening." Deep beneath Earth's surface, systems that had slept for centuries hummed back to life. Power generators activated. Life support systems engaged. And in a chamber miles below the surface, a single stasis pod began its awakening sequence. The pod's occupant stirred, her dark hair floating in the suspension fluid as warmth returned to her limbs. Lieutenant Maya Chen opened her eyes for the first time in 400 years. The last thing she remembered was entering the pod as humanity executed its greatest gambit, the long sleep protocol. A computerized voice spoke in her mind through neural interface. "Welcome back, Lieutenant. You are the first of the awakened. The galaxy has changed. Our absence has been noted. Multiple alien vessels detected in orbit." Maya flexed her fingers, feeling strength return to her body. She smiled, though there was no warmth in it. Status report. All systems nominal. 80% of preservation pods intact. Military assets ready for deployment. Earth's defense grid awaiting activation. Time to remind them why they used to fear the dark, Maya whispered. Above, the Salthian teams watched in horror as the ground beneath them began to shift. What they had thought were hills revealed themselves as the armored plating of massive underground facilities. The very earth seemed to come alive, ancient human machinery awakening from its long slumber. "Commander," the ground team leader's voice was panicked. "You need to see this." Through the video feed, Zolif watched as a figure emerged from the opening. Humanoid, wearing form-fitting armor that seemed to absorb light. The human moved with purpose, each step radiating confidence that hadn't been seen in 4 centuries. Maya Chen looked up at the Salthian landing craft hovering overhead. She raised her hand in what might have been a greeting or a warning. "I am Lieutenant Maya Chen of the Earth Defense Force," she announced, her voice carrying clearly through their translators. "You are trespassing on a military installation. You have 1 hour to leave our space." Zolif leaned forward. "This is High Commander Zolif of the Salthian Empire. Humanity has been declared extinct. By galactic law. This world." "Galactic law?" Maya interrupted, her laugh sharp and cold. "We never signed your laws. We never joined your councils. We simply waited." "Waited for what?" Maya's smile widened. "For you to forget what we were capable of. For you to grow comfortable. For you to believe we were truly gone." She touched a device on her wrist. 1 hour, Commander. Then we remind you." As Maya turned and walked back into the facility, the ground continued to shake. Across the planet, more entrances opened, more pods activated, more humans emerged from their long sleep, each one trained, each one ready. The galaxy had forgotten humanity, but humanity had never forgotten the galaxy. And the awakening had only just begun. The awakening protocol. High Commander Zolif paced the bridge of the eternal glory, his 4 arms gesturing frantically as he tried to make sense of the situation. The human lieutenant's ultimatum echoed in his mind. 1 hour. They had less than 30 minutes remaining. "Sir," his tactical officer interrupted, "we're detecting massive energy signatures across the planet. They're powering up something big. Can you identify it?" "Negative. The technology is different. It doesn't match anything in our databases." Below, Maya Chen stood in the command center of Installation Alpha 1, watching as her fellow humans emerged from stasis. Each face told a story of determination and purpose. They had volunteered for this, to sleep through centuries, to wake when the time was right. "Status report," she commanded. 32% of pods successfully activated," replied Captain James Morrison, her second in command. "That gives us approximately 2 million personnel worldwide. Defense grid at 60% and rising. And our guests. Still in orbit, they've called for reinforcements. 3 Zolthian battle groups en route, ETA 4 hours. Maya nodded. "They think they're dealing with a remnant population. They have no idea." The truth was elegant in its simplicity. Humanity hadn't been driven to extinction. They had chosen to disappear. When it became clear that the other species would never accept human unpredictability, Earth's leaders had made a decision. They would fake their own demise, go underground, and wait. For 400 years, automated systems had maintained the illusion. Holographic projectors showed a dead world to any observers. Fake ruins satisfied archaeological expeditions. Meanwhile, Beneath the surface, humanity prepared. They studied their potential enemies. They developed new technologies. They planned for every contingency, and they waited for the perfect moment to return. Lieutenant, Morrison pointed to a holographic display. The Xalthians are attempting to contact their homeworld. Jam their signals. It's time they learned what isolation feels like. With a gesture, Maya activated the defense grid. Around the planet, ancient satellites that had appeared as space debris suddenly came alive. They formed a network, an impenetrable shield that cut Earth off from the rest of the galaxy. On the eternal glory, chaos erupted. Commander, we've lost all communications. Our sensors are being jammed. Energy shield detected around the planet. Zolith slammed his fist against the command console. How is this possible? Their technology was primitive. His science officer looked up, fear evident in her compound eyes. Sir, what if it wasn't? What if they wanted us to think that? The realization hit Zolith like a physical blow. Humans hadn't been the chaotic primitives the galaxy believed. They had been playing a longer game than anyone imagined. Prepare for immediate withdrawal, he ordered. We need to warn. Commander, the tactical officer interrupted. Something's happening on the surface. They watched in horror as structures emerged from Earth's oceans, massive platforms bristling with weapons unlike anything they had seen. In the skies, swarms of drones assembled, forming geometric patterns that pulsed with energy. Maya's voice came through their communications system, somehow bypassing their encryption. Time's up, Commander. You were given a chance to leave peacefully. What do you want? Zolith demanded. Want? We want what we've always wanted. To explore, to grow, to push the boundaries of what's possible. But you and your orderly empires couldn't handle that. You wanted us to conform, to fit into your neat little boxes. She paused, and when she spoke again, her voice was harder. So we disappeared. We let you have your perfect, orderly galaxy. And while you celebrated our extinction, we prepared. We learned. We evolved. The weapons platforms began to glow with accumulated energy. Wait, Zolith shouted. We can negotiate. Negotiate? Maya laughed. That time passed centuries ago. But don't worry, Commander. We're not the monsters you believed us to be. We don't want your extinction. We just want you to remember. Remember what? Why you feared us. Why you needed us. And why the galaxy will never be the same again. The energy discharge that followed wasn't destructive. It was demonstrative. A pulse of force that pushed the Xalthian fleet back, sending them tumbling through space without causing actual damage. A warning shot on a scale that defied comprehension. As the eternal glory stabilized, Zolith watched more human ships emerge from hidden bases on Earth's moon, from the asteroid belt, from places they had never thought to look. Sleek vessels that made their most advanced warships look primitive by comparison. Sir, his science officer reported, voice shaking, we're detecting similar energy signatures from other systems. The dead colonies, the abandoned outposts, they're all activating. Humanity hadn't just hidden on Earth. They had seeded themselves throughout the galaxy, waiting dormant like spores for the right moment to bloom. Maya opened a channel to all ships in the system. This is Lieutenant Maya Chen, speaking for the Turan Reclamation Authority. Our message is simple. Humanity has returned. We're not here to conquer or destroy. We're here to remind you that the galaxy is vast, mysterious, and full of possibilities. She smiled, and this time there was warmth in it. We're the chaos you tried to eliminate, the unpredictability you feared, the passion you couldn't understand. And we're back to make the galaxy interesting again. Some of you will resist. Some will welcome us. Some will try to bargain. It doesn't matter. We're not asking for permission to exist. We're simply announcing that we do. As human ships spread throughout the system, taking up defensive positions around Earth, Maya delivered her final message. Tell your empires, your commonwealths, your collectives. Tell them humanity lives. Tell them we remember every slight, every betrayal, every attempt to contain us. But also tell them this: we learned from our isolation. We're not the same species you knew. She paused, letting the weight of her words sink in. We're better. The transmission ended, leaving the galaxy to grapple with a new reality. Humanity hadn't gone extinct. They had evolved, adapted, and returned stronger than ever. In the following weeks, human ships appeared throughout known space. They established communication with old allies, offered trade to former enemies, and demonstrated technological capabilities that made the most advanced civilizations look primitive. But they didn't conquer. They didn't destroy. They simply existed, a reminder that order without chaos leads to stagnation, that predictability without surprise leads to decay. The galaxy had forgotten humanity, but humanity had never forgotten the galaxy. And now, as humans took their place among the stars once more, one thing was certain. The age of serenity was over. The age of humanity had begun again. And this time, they were here to stay.